Greetings, YouTube. It's Joe from Joe and Chris and Ty Play Games. And first off, I'd like to apologize for two things. One is the lack of videos recently. We've been going through some colds, so we've been trying to get over those, and we've had some vacations and some events going on, so we haven't had a lot of time to make these videos. So, sorry about that. And the second thing I want to apologize for is if my voice sounds a little off. I've got a bit of a cough today, but I wanted to make a video because last week Ty kind of saved my butt and made a video about the story time at the movies, which I will get to later. Just a couple of quick announcements that I didn't want to do a whole video about. For one thing, for those of you wondering about the unofficial network that has appeared on our channel page, it is not an official network. I'm merely just supporting friends who also have YouTube channels through the channel, through Vine, through the Steam group, which is another announcement. We do have a Steam group. You can find it on our channel page. You could search for Joe and Chris and Ty Play Games on Steam. It's public, and you can just join it, and there's weekly announcements and stuff. And we're working on improving it, and you can that's also where you can suggest let's plays and reviews and clips for the sports remixed series. So that you should definitely go join and check that out. So I think that's it. So I knew Ty was making a video about this. It's supposed to be part of a TF2 Let's Play. He decided just to make it a solitary video, and I didn't really know how he was going to tell the story. And then when I watched it, I'm like, oh my god. So there's just a few things I want to correct or comment on. It's going to be a little meta. We're going to be reacting to our own content. Ty's not actually just here. It's just me. So, without further ado, let's get this video. Let me just start off by saying his intro is awful. He's like, hey guys. He sounds like really bored, or like a little kid talking in a sing-song voice, like, good morning, Miss Price. No, it's awful. I apologize. Also, the clip art that he uses, not a good idea. Sorry about that. It's more of like a podcast video, I guess, in that respect. And there's not really much to see.
It didn't go as planned, as well as we thought it would.
One part Tyler did not mention is we took the bus to the movies, and my parents had looked up the bus price because I don't really take the bus a lot, and they looked up and they said, oh, this is how much you need for a student price. So I went up there and I had my student ID and the money for the bus, and he's like, oh, that's not enough. And I just looked at Ty like, oh my god, what are we gonna do? But no, the guy he was cool. He just let us on. He's like, yeah, you're just going to the mall. You just look it up next time. And I was like, so shout out to that guy, random bus driver dude. If you're watching this, I don't really know how you found my channel, but good on you.
I specifically texted my friend Will, and me and him were like the ones planning this whole thing. I told him that we were going to buy tickets for the 1 o'clock one. I specifically said 1 o'clock.
So on the whole time of the movie thing, he tries to make it sound like it's really obvious that he had the last word and he was like, no, we're going to the 1 o'clock. But looking at the messages, honestly, it was a little confusing. Both people seemed to have the last word in the conversation, so it was hard for me to figure out which one we were going to just by looking at those messages. So it's a little understandable. But one of them should have just said hey, which showing are we buying it for? And then we would have realized.
Chris was sick. That's why he didn't go. He would have. the ad started playing, and Joe noticed me and Joe noticed something a little off about it. The music was so much louder than the actual like dialogue.
I'm not sure Ty shows or explains how much of a difference between the music and the dialogue there was, but there was a point where I don't know if you've seen this, but there's like a Suicide Squad scene that wasn't even in the movie where the Australian guy, Captain Boomerang, he has a can of beer or soda, probably beer, and he opens it, right? And it sounds normal, but like in that theater, it sounded like an explosion. So it was unwatchable. I mean, like in the ads were just kind of like music, and you were just struggling to hear like what they were saying.
We went to the theater, sat down in our good seats.
What he regrets to mention is that our seats say C9 and C10, right? But we go into that theater, and the C row has like spaces for handicapped people, right? But it only goes up to 9. So there's on the corner there's 8 and 9, and then a set of stairs, and that's it. There is no C10. So I just kind of sat in C8. I guess I could just. I'm either sitting here or on the stairs, and I'm not sitting on the stairs.
And the movie started. All like the opening titles, like Universal, all that stuff.
It wasn't Universal.
And then the Starship Enterprise flew out of nowhere in space, and we're like, huh.
So one thing about when this Starship Enterprise appeared, me and Ty actually thought it was like part of the movie. We thought it was like a similar ship or like a cameo. It was supposed to be like a space intro or a nod to that or something. We didn't realize it was a Star Trek movie until they cut away to one of the characters who was clearly part of the movie, clearly part of Star Trek. And then we realized that it was not our movie.
The lady gave us the wrong tickets for the wrong movie. We were so mad. I know I was mad. I'm not sure how mad Joe was. He seemed to be pretty calm about the whole thing.
I was not calm about the whole thing.
And she's like, I swear you said Star Trek. And Joe is like fighting. He's like, I swear we didn't say it. They sound nothing alike.
I don't know how this happened. She was holding our tickets. To my knowledge, there was not a Star Trek showing at 1 o'clock. And she was still holding our tickets. We said Suicide Squad. There were so many ways that it was... So many signs that it was Suicide Squad. I don't know where Star Trek happened. I was even wearing a t-shirt from the DC Comics universe. So, I mean, it was a bit of a vague reference. But still, it wasn't like I was wearing a Star Trek t-shirt. Because I don't follow Star Trek at all.
But we had good seats in the first and second movie. Star Trek, even though it wasn't the right movie, we had good seats.
Some of us had good seats for the Star Trek movie. Some of us were technically sitting on the stairs. Before we move on to this next part, which frustrates me a lot, I'd just like to mention something really quickly. Ty had made popcorn at home, and he'd bought all these snacks at the grocery store and stuffed them in his bag, right? And so, in the course of this whole, adventure, or whatever you want to call it, he had managed to go past the snack bar, the ticket gate where they check your ticket. He went back out the ticket gate to the snack bar, back through the ticket gate, back out the ticket gate, back to the snack bar, out to the cafe right by the movie theater where we just sat for a bit before our movie started. Took out his popcorn. He was eating it visibly in view of the movie theater. Went back inside to the ticket gate, went through the ticket gate. So I didn't really want to press my luck because he had already gone through several times. He'd gone through several employees. It's just you really don't want to press your luck anymore. So already it had been kind of risky. I just wanted to just sit down and watch the movie because I'd been here since 11 a.m. for a 2:30 movie that I was apathetic about. Wasn't really interested in it until we went to see it. Anyway,
I'm like, Joe, when the lights dim, let's go walk out, walk back in, and go to an empty seat. Because I'm not gonna sit here in the front row and barely see the other side of the movie. So the lights dim. I walk out, walk in, go to the top of the theater, sit in a seat. Joe takes some time. He waits like 3 minutes.
I wanted to see what would happen. I wanted to see if anyone would notice. I wanted to see if the people would come in. Okay? I was letting him take the fall if anything went wrong. I waited until the opening, like, the title screen where it said Suicide Squad. So I waited a whole 5 minutes. And if you're, with the amount of ads they have at the movies, and just the interest building up of this movie, if you have tickets in the very back row of the opening weekend of this highly anticipated movie, and you're not there by the time the title screen is there, you probably have an injury, and you're probably not going to that movie at all. You're probably sick, you're probably have some kind of family emergency. I don't care. By the time the title screen rolls around, unless it's like right at the front like Star Wars, there is no way you're there. There's no way. Because they had a whole scene before that about something or other. It was at Belle Rev, right. They had the whole scene at Belle Rev, which if you're not there by the time that scene ends, on top of all of the ads, which start precisely when your movie starts. So you have 20 minutes of ads, then you got a 5-minute scene. So if you're not there half an hour before after your movie starts, then why are you even bothering to show up?
Walks out, walks back in, goes up next to me, and I don't know. Joe's like, he's like ain't. I don't know. He doesn't. I don't know if he doesn't do that. He doesn't really break. I don't even know if it's breaking rules. It's just moving seats. I guess it's breaking rules. You just won't get in that much trouble. He just doesn't do stuff like that. So he was like, he was like, just, uncomfortable a little bit.
I cannot stress this enough, but I am not an angel. I am not an angel. And Ty, if you're watching this, you know exactly that's what you're going to say. There's no other way that you could have finished that would have made any sense at all. There's no other syllable that you could have put at the end of that. And this guy, you know how like some games you need to be a certain age to buy them, right? Before the movie started, we went over to the game shop and he saw one that he wanted to buy. And so not only did he take a loan out for me, which he still hasn't paid back, by the way, I went up and bought it for him because I was old enough to buy it and he wasn't. So yeah, angel buying video games for underage people. It's not like vandalism or anything. And sure, but I was back there with him at the time. Just to be clear, I am not an angel. I don't know. Just no.
The people who were going to sit in that seat, they came in and they weren't just straight up like, hey, these are our seats. And we're like, what they did was they walked up, saw us, stood in the middle of the stairs, and like crouched a little bit, like looked in the row in front of us, like inching around. They checked the row in front of us, was all like, and they looked at us. They stared at us, stared at their tickets, looked up, looked at the tickets, looked up, looked at the tickets, and then they just slowly, like this lady is so slow, she's like slowly leaned towards us, and he's like, I think those are our seats.
Ty acts as if we were just gonna, if we just sat there and didn't say anything, that they would have been like, oh, okay, we'll just forfeit these seats in the back row of this movie that is highly anticipated and everyone wants to see because there are 2 kids already sitting there. Yeah, right, like that's gonna happen.
We got up, and then I'm like, Joe, there's just a few other seats. No one's here. No one's gonna sit in the. There's no one's gonna come in this late into a movie.
That whole few other seats, they were all single seats. So that would have defeated the entire purpose of going to the movies with your friend. Because I just wanted to sit down and watch my movie, and I wanted to do it, and I wanted. It's just the whole point of going to the movies with your friends is so you can sit next to them and you can react and stuff. And if he wasn't, and he was like, oh yeah, we'll just go to the few other seats, which were all single seats. And technically people did show up that far into the movie. And they had the back row seats. If that showing hadn't worked out, if there was something that wasn't going to work out, I'd probably go up to the register and be like, I would like to see your manager. And if they say no, then I'm like, okay, I demand that I see your manager, because we have gone through 3 different showings and all this, but luckily it didn't come to that. I'm just saying, I was really frustrated at the whole situation, but it all worked out and it was fine. So thanks for watching. I know this video is a little different from what we normally do. As soon as I finish this, I'm probably going to do like 10 minutes of editing and then start filming another video. So yeah, there's going to be more content coming your way. So yeah, be sure to check out our Steam group and our Vine, both in the description. And yeah.